Hello, I'm going to show you how to create a secondary MySQL instance from backup MySQL data in order to take a current MySQL dump. This is really useful if you don't have a SQL backup of your current database, but you have a backup directory for your MySQL. I'm just going to use the current data on my server to showcase this because it's the same steps either way. You just have to get this data in the proper directory. So you're going to want to make some type of unique identifier, like restore.mysql, and then like a date or something like that, but just restore.mysql is fine for now. And then I'm going to sync over the necessary data from my current MySQL directory to this restore directory. So the MySQL dir is needed. All the IB star files are needed, so IB data and IB logs. And then sometimes you need the performance schema directory, but not always, but I might as well just move it anyways because sometimes it's needed. Then you're going to need the data for the database you're trying to restore. So in this case, it's disk for live, WordPress 669. And then you're going to send this to this directory you just created. So there's one thing you got to do before you start the MySQL instance, or two things actually. You need to change the permissions on this temporary directory you just created. So it needs to be MySQL ownership. And the MySQL directory also needs 751 permissions. So now we're ready to start a secondary MySQL instance inside this directory. We're going to set a dir command for this present directory. Or we're going to set dir equal to this present directory rather, and then we're going to start this MySQL instance. If it's InnoDB data, it may fail to start, but not always. If it does fail to start, you can actually just change this command to InnoDB force recovery equals 4, and we can go ahead and do that now. Let me just stop the instance. So I stopped it, and let's go ahead and start it again with this force recovery command on, which is perfectly fine since the secondary instance. And now we can actually take a dump. So let's make a new directory called dumps, and we'll go into there, and now we're going to take a MySQL dump of this directory, or rather this database in here. And then we're going to want to tail the last line of this dump file or SQL file to make sure they completed properly, and it's going to show dump completed. That way you know it successfully took a dump. And say there were some issues with the dump, say like there was a crash table, it would tell you which table was crashed, and you could actually repair it with the MySQL check command. MySQL check-r. If this would only repair it if it's my ISAM data. Since this is InnoDB data, it's actually going to fail because InnoDB doesn't support table repairs. But anyways, if this was my ISAM data, that would be useful because you could check the secondary MySQL instances table to repair them before taking a dump. So we're all done with the secondary instance. We've taken a current dump. We can just go ahead and shut down this instance. And before we actually restore it, we're going to want to take a dump of the current database, just in case there's any issues. So I'll usually date it, and I have auto key, which expands #date into this command you see here. And there we go. We have 2 dumps. So we can just check this file real quick again. Dump completed, and now we can actually restore the first dump we took into the live database. And there we go. That's it. I hope you learned something and have a great day.